Grand finals time. Here we go. Best of 5. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Babylon. It is arguably the best Protoss player in the world. Maybe the best Protoss player to ever play the game. I don't know. That's saying a lot. We've had some good Protoss players in the past. It is Dragon Kites Gaming's herO. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner, Team NV in the blue, it is Cure. An often underrated Terran player. And I did see somebody recently pose the question, are we back in the Cure is the best Terran player in the world era? Because there's been periods of time where Cure wins games that other Terrans can't. Even Maru. Cure has had some moments of brilliance, and you know what? He's looked insanely good against Zerg today. But we've really only seen him against Zerg today. So how is he going to fare here against Protoss? herO just took down Gumiho. I don't know how that series went. It seems like it was a pretty quick one. Gumiho sometimes does what I would like to call weird shit. But it could have been just straight up macro games. herO did get kind of dominated by Maru yesterday at the KSL. Very much dominated. But that's also Maru. And, you know, day to day, sometimes the games just don't go well. And that's kind of what it felt like yesterday against Maru. Gumiho's a very different player, and Cure's very different from both of them. So, interested to see how this series works out. It is a best of 5. So we'll probably get a couple of good macro games in there, but maybe a couple of cheeky cheeses as well. Cure is not afraid to proxy racks. And herO is not afraid to, like, to base all in. So I hope we get to see a little bit of that. There's a Zealot here. Here just sending the Zealot across, trying to disrupt the CC. I have seen him do this one before. The Adept coming in to join the Zealot. There's a second SCV down here from Cure, and I do like that a lot. Helping to buffer, and that can also replace the one on the command center if it dies. Zealot goes down. The Adept is going to finish that shade. No, it goes for the cancel. Okay. I can say that'd be a little surprising. It wants to wait for its next little friend, the Stalker. But I think it's going to be a little tough for herO. He's not going to have high ground vision. He's just going to go for it anyways. All right. He gets the low Marine and then just leaves. And he's like, I'm out. Peace. So he's going to get the low Marine again. He wants it. Hell wants the process. Excuse me. And it's going to be blink out of herO, but so far just 2 gates in the Robo. Not getting super aggressive with it. At least so far, you could always drop a couple more gates, though. Adept is going to go down, and that's going to be the end of herO's high ground vision. So I feel like if Cure pulls these 3 low Marines back, he's not in danger of losing anything else. But yeah, okay. herO's just going to back up. And he's going to go ahead and take a third. All right. All right, macro game it is, at least on herO's side. Cure, though, is doing a 2-1-1. I did notice the second barracks earlier on, but the pressure distracted me. Didn't distract Cure. He's got Stim on the way, and it's worth noting, keeping these low Marines alive is very important. He lost 4, which is going to hurt this push that he's going for. This 2 medevac drop with Stim Marines. But he could have lost 3 more here. Keeping those alive is pretty crucial. Yeah, it's a pretty standard opening out of herO. Obviously, the aggression is maybe a little bit non-standard. He does like to do those kinds of early moves. I was actually just watching a couple of herO games the other day to see what he liked to do against Terran in the opening, so I could try to be like herO. You know, gotta play like herO. And I noticed that opening, and I was like, I can't do that. I will just lose absolutely everything. I would lose the Zealot, and then lose the Adept, and then lose the Stalker, and then lose the game. There is a Stalker here, but just one Stalker, not going to be enough to stop this. hero's units are very far away, just not noticing this drop coming in, and that could be a lot of probe damage. He does pull the probes very quickly, but still 7 going down. The Stalkers get here, but they are just going to be able to push this away. Not going to be able to really get too much done. There's still a lot of Marines left alive, so the Stalkers have to sit back at home and defend against this drop, which is still threatening. Oh my god, he's going to blink in. Oh. Whoa. I thought those Stalkers were about to blink under the medevacs. But no, Kure decides to drop on the outside of the base, the safer move, and back up for now. Behind this, concussive shell, combat shields, and more medevacs coming out for Kure. No third command center just yet, but as I say that, he's about to drop it down, which herO will not scout, but I think he saw the SCV, so he knows, and he knows there's some sort of push coming because he's seeing these units out on the map. He's got observers all over the place. Stalker's still out here to keep an eye out for things. Just because he sees it doesn't mean he can necessarily handle it. Charge is done, but there's only 2 Zealots. Might be able to have a couple of Archons out. But hero's army supply is 30 down from Kure. Kure has a lot of stuff here, and he's going to start poking and prodding already. Stalker's trying desperately to not take damage, but it looks like a gate and a cyber core are going to go down. A new cyber core is already on its way up here for herO. He knew this was going to die. And herO is actually kind of fine just warping in Zealots until that cyber core is done, I think. He can also warp in High Templar, so losing the cyber core really not that big of a deal. The longer Kure takes to actually try to fight, if he tries to fight, the better it is for herO. He can just keep on building units. And in the meantime, a couple of Zealots run to the other side of the map, delay this third by a little bit before getting pushed away. Ooh, Widowmine drop as well. Coming in here from Kure. This is kind of cheeky. Stalkers blink forward and kill both Widowmines. Okay. It really looked like one of those was going to live, but herO is too good for that. He targeted down both of them and got them both. He's too good. Kure decides to back up, but Kure ends up ahead 30 supply right now. It's kind of wild, and despite some of this economic damage, a few SCVs going down, worker count's still very, very similar. This is obviously a bit of an annoyance for Kure, but he's ahead 30 army supply right now. He doesn't have any ghosts coming out yet because that Ghost Academy got delayed. We can't EMP these Archons or High Templar. Storm's about to finish, and these High Templar going to be very crucial, but I don't know, I actually have enough energy yet, so could be a bit dangerous, but it doesn't look like Kure was really ready for this push in. Oh, Kure got to be careful moving forward. Storm finishing up just in time. The bad weather coming in. There it is. Decent storm, mostly a zoning storm. There are more storms available. There's a juicy one. That is an even better one. hero's going to still have to back up, though. There's a lot of bio here from Kure, and we see he's still up 35 army supply. Another juicy storm. But hero's forced to back up. Kure's still on 59 workers. Rallying out more units. Ghosts coming out now. No 4th command center, but herO is weirdly not taking a 4th either. I don't know if I like that choice from herO. It feels like he's not really taking advantage of the fact that he's pressuring right now. And now that the pressure is over, he's going to drop the base. This feels very vulnerable if Kure decides to counterattack. Prism drops Zealots back into the main base. Vikings not quite able to do their job. It looks like they will push this away, but there's no turrets here. Oh, lack of turrets is painful. Looks like the Zealots will get cleaned up, but again, a very big annoyance for Kure. Loses a ghost. Prism finally dies, but now hero's going to go for another push. Decides to pull back. Ghosts around now, so the High Templar have to be very careful. That Prism just died, so they cannot hide in that guy. And yeah, hero needs to get into the second Robo, the Robo Bay, and start getting those disruptors out. Because right now, he doesn't have reliable splash damage against this Terran army, and it is a big Terran army. Cure in 181 supply. He is 40 supply ahead in army of herO, and herO's stalkers are just kind of here alone. This is a big problem. Ooh, nice storm on top of some of these units on the top side. They are very choked up, but EMP on the High Templar does wonders. Some Widow Mines going off here as well. EMP is going down. Another storm lands, but is it enough for herO? He's down to under 100 supply, and I don't think he's going to have enough here. It looks like Cure is going to bust through this army. Oh my god, that storm is so juicy, but there's enough medevacs to keep these units alive. And herO's going to lose his 4th base. Cure continuing to rally across. herO down to 63 supply, and that, to me, feels like a GG. He's going to land one more storm. The nice one. Not nice enough to actually get too many kills. Cure's going to kill this base, and I think he can just kind of keep on pushing forward. I mean, there's disruptors coming out, but the Robo's right here. Oh my god, the Widow Mines. GG. Oh, I wanted to see the Widow Mines hit. We didn't get to. Too bad. You just have to imagine what it was like to see those Archons explode from the Widow Mines. GG. What a game, man. Cure takes game number 1 over herO. Apparently, Cure 2-0'd herO in GSL Season 1 and Solar. I have not gotten to watch the GSL, unfortunately. I have been slacking on my VOD watching. I got to keep an eye out for that. I usually don't like to watch it too much later. Like, I'll watch it at work the next day because it's at, like, butt o'clock for me. But I haven't gotten to yet this season. I have to watch them or listen. I mostly listen to it. They also have GSL actually has a Patreon now, where you can subscribe, and I think for $30 a month, you can get GSL replays, which is very sick. You know, it's not quite as good value as $5 a month for KSL to get those replays, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. It's cool to see GSL doing some crowdfunding and getting some big support. I have been thinking about doing that, doing some casting of GSL replays, but I know I'm not the only one. So that market's probably pretty saturated. Anyways, we are going to hop into game 2 here of this best of 5. Some GSL level players. Champions, honestly. Has herO won a GSL? He did, right? I wish my memory was good. Anyways, probably GSL champion, Dragon Kites Gaming's herO in the lower right, and definitely GSL champion Team NV's Cure in the upper left. I gotta look this up. I can't wait for chat to confirm this. herO. GSL. I swear he won. No, maybe not. Oh, wait. Season 2 last year. Yes, July. Okay. Oh, man. Sometimes, like, the brain just don't work, you know? You guys have that? Where you're like, I know I have the answer to this in my head, but I don't know what it is. I can't trust it. What it is I can't trust myself. I was pretty sure he was the GSL champion, but I can't trust my own brain, you know? My brain tells me stupid, wrong things all the time. So far, a pretty normal start here for these guys, which, nice relaxing opening. Nothing too crazy going on. You feel like Cure is like Showtime, very solid player who rarely wins premier tournaments. I think that's generally pretty true. Cure is, of course, a very solid player. Cure is really good at this game. And he does have a GSL victory under his belt. So he has that potential. I do feel like Cure has had some times where he's really stepped up to that level in a way that a lot of other players who are kind of in the like solid standard macro player position often struggle with. And I think part of that is Cure's willingness to do cheesy builds, right? I don't want to like overstate how important it is, but it's really important. Think about most of our consistent champions and our consistently top players often have cheese builds they can mix in. I mean, Maru's the biggest example of this, right? Maru won GSLs, multiple GSLs off the back of proxy raxes. You know, like he was down in a series, opponent on match point. What does Maru do? Proxy rax. Easy peasy, wins the game. The entirety of 2018 was Maru proxy raxing. herO's kind of an exception to this, but even herO, after his initial success, did have to learn how to do some cheesy builds. He had to learn how to play in some non-optimal ways. And some players really struggle with that. You know, I never see Showtime doing cheese. And I think that might be part of the reason why, yeah, he hasn't had as big of results. There were some times where he was the strongest player in Europe, or strongest Protoss in Europe. And I think if he had been able to mix in a well-executed cheese during some key series, yeah, he might have been able to have some better results. And Cure is not afraid of that. He doesn't do it a ton, but he's not afraid of it. The same can be said of herO, but herO actually doesn't afraid of anything. He's like, what's this build? Never mind. I'll do it. Is it good? I don't care. My favorite thing about herO that I remember watching herO do like a few years ago was he would do all-ins, especially like adept all-ins. And we were all like, oh, this isn't going to work. And it didn't, right? The all-in wouldn't work. And we'd be like, all right. So now he's going to macro from behind, right? And herO was like, no, dude, I'm just going to all-in again. And then he would all-in again. And you'd be like, well, it's not going to work, dude. And it wouldn't work. We'd be like, now he's even further behind. How can he macro out of this? And hero's like, you're thinking too small, bud. We gotta all in again. Speaking of thinking,
man. Wow.
herO trying to catch this medevac. Cure too fast for him, though. Arconic TV, thank you so much for the 9-month resubscription. That's a Twitch baby if I've ever seen one. We gotta figure out what to name that bad boy. Thank you. And your sub alert didn't wreck anything. It just wrecked my heart with love. But yeah, I loved watching herO just do all in after all in after all in. And then like the 6th time the adepts hit, the shade goes into the base and they just kill all the workers and suddenly he wins the game. Like, wait a minute. That's against the law. Oh, herO won GSL in 2017 as well. That doesn't surprise me. It's just, listen, if I can't remember, you know, July 2022, there's just no chance of 2017 happening. Anyways, let's talk about this game a little bit. There's been a little bit of stuff. You know, we followed the Widow Mines. We followed these early game units. Nothing really to speak of. herO on a good defense so far, but just macroing. Just macroing here. Cure looks like he could have a nice push if he wants to go for it. Might go for it as he tries to take the 3rd base, but yeah, he's got Stim and +1 finishing up here. I don't think there was a combat shields though, was there? No. Maybe a mistake there from Cure, not building combat shields. Oh no. Cure out here watching too much Upper Tree Zelda, forgetting combat shields. herO in the meantime getting into the Robo Bay. He already has the Templar Archives. He's already got Storm. So he has that ready to go in case there's an attack coming from Cure. But he's getting into the Robo Bay now, so he can get into probably Disruptors, but I wouldn't hate to see some Colossi. I don't know. herO so far just getting a little bit of everything. As is Cure. Getting out those ghosty boys. Still's not taking the third, though, and I feel like this third is just kind of chilling here for right now. 3 auto turrets to kill a pylon. That feels like overkill, but, you know, I guess if the pylon dies, it's worth it. Cure is going to move out now. Man, look at that army supply. Cure is up 30 army supply over herO. Of course, herO can get some warp-ins going. He is going for a Colossus. No thermal lance just yet, but I kind of like the Colossus call. He's got just an observer chilling right over this army. If Cure scans, that is a dead observer, but it's kind of a big if. See if he goes for it. Seems to be thinking about it too much. Cure's gonna push out. Oh my god. Oh, herO. Oh, feedbacks 4 of the 5 medevacs and then picks up and gets out of there with both of the High Templar. So feedback doesn't kill the medevacs anymore, right? It does a lot less damage than it used to, but there's no energy on them, and that means every stim, every storm, every little bit of damage is going to be so hard to deal with. Another storm goes down. These aren't the biggest storms in the world, but this is damage before anything even really happens in this fight. herO's already getting some damage off. I really like those moves, but the Disruptor Nova's not getting big shots off. Oh, the weather is bad. Disruptors go down. Where is the rest of herO's army? All right, he's got some army up here getting overcharged, shield batteried. He's going to drop a storm on top of some of these units, gets another one down on the low ground. These storms are so good, and herO is going to push Cure back, despite Cure having a much bigger army supply. The splash damage has just been so good for herO, but he pushes up on top of that ramp, and Cure's reinforcements say, no, no, no. No, 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 no. Get back. Back to where you once belonged. Oof. Widowmine gets a cheeky kill here. I don't know how that Widowmine got all the way up there. Double Colossi trying to come out right now. I still think they're... Oh, there is Thermal Lance. Okay. So they do have that range. herO still holding on, not taking too much damage here. Loses the shield battery. You're just trying to kite against this. Oh my god, this Widowmine's going to go off again. It's going to hit this Colossus. Wow. Widowmine took all the shields and 10 hit points off that Colossus. Brutal. Here decides to back up with some of his units, but still out here with a nice little collection. Gonna find this probe. Here trying to push the army away. Cure wants to hold the top of the ramp, but he's got to be careful of the Disruptor Novas and the Storms and the Colossi. herO looks like he wants to go for a bit of a push. No, okay. He's just splitting his units to help defend each side, thinking Cure might try to attack from the right. He's not currently doing that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Cure does like to do those big kind of split pushes, as we saw in game 1, and just hit in multiple locations, pull herO out of position. Cure still has the army supply lead, but it's worth noting that in this game the upgrades are relatively even. herO up the attack upgrade right now. He's got 3-2 on the way, but 2-2's about to finish up for Cure, so pretty even across the board. We've seen some games where those upgrades get really out of hand if the Protoss sits on one forge for too long. herO, though, not making that mistake, but here's that army from Cure. This is exactly what I was talking about. It felt like herO was split for this, but he just wasn't in position to deal with this army. Decides to give up the base, goes for the cancel, and just leaves for now. Scan goes down on the left to see that this army is in fact still there. Cure smartly pulls back. herO going to take a base that I feel like I never see taken. going to focus on this engagement a little bit here as Cure's trying to pop in and get some damage done, avoiding those Disruptor Novas expertly. Oh, some feedback's going down, though, and a juicy couple of storms. Really nice plays there from herO, who's going to push this army right on back. Widowmines get some good kills on the retreat here from Cure, but herO does push it away. I almost never see this base taken on this map. I feel like if we get to 5 bases, it is for sure this one. And then maybe this one gets taken. But, man, it's so rare to see this one happen. We'll see if hero's able to hold on to it. Cure, I don't think realizes it's there yet. But he's got to know there's another base around. It's probably one of these. Since herO was trying to take that one to the right before Cure canceled it. herO may be looking for an opening right now, but he is kind of running his units all to the same spot. So it feels like he wants to go for a bit of a push. Cure does have a lot of stuff here. hero's got to be very careful. But Cure doesn't have everything here. Could have gone for a counterattack on the right-hand side. It looks like instead he's going to pull everything over to defend. Oh, he gets the Prism full of High Templar. No storms coming out of that bad boy. And now hero's feeling like his army is maybe a little bit too split as the reinforcements of Cure show up. But both players still end up maxed. And we're getting into late game TVP here, which is kind of a crazy matchup. Disruptor's obviously going to be incredibly important for herO, but that DT Blink is huge as well. Cure might want to get into Liberators here fairly soon. He does have +2 ship weapons on the way, 3/3 on the way, +3 armor finishing up here for herO in a little bit, as well as that +1 shields. herO decides to push straight through the center. Oh, he's got to be careful not to get sandwiched between a rock and a hard place. His army's splitting really weirdly too. Well, Cure gonna hit this base. Actually, I think if he just stims in and targets it down, he gets it. But the recall from herO. Oh, that EMP landed right before the recall. Or right after the recall, I should say. Widowmine's getting some good damage here, and actually, herO running his army the wrong direction, losing a lot of high-value targets. Taking kind of a poor engagement there, and at the same time, Cure's going to move through the middle. He wants to get a sandwich on this army. Oh, but he's got to be careful not to fight 2 armies. Or fight one army with 2 armies separately. It's always the danger of going for the split. Cure decides to pull back to the top side up here and hang out with the Tastalope. Pulled back to the left side over here. I forgot there's a Tastalope and an Artosalope on this map. Actually, is there an Artosalope? This map might just have a Tastalope. Super Shield Battery and Cannon's going to hold for long enough for herO to get here. EMPs are good, but the Super Shield Battery is gooder. However, herO didn't leave anything over on this side. If Cure decides to stim down here again, this is going to be a pretty dead base. herO is very far away, and he might just go for the full counter. There's those Liberators I was talking about. Going to keep herO back for a little bit. Pylons get taken down, and then I imagine the base. Cure not focusing. He's focusing back at home where he really needs to be, splitting against the Disruptors. Nova's getting some big connections, though, as herO pushes through. Cure kills the base on the right side. He's going to keep going. The Vikings are going to take down the Colossi. Only 1 left over, but I think the Vikings might be able to get that. Actually, there's 2 left over. Cure, in the meantime, pushing into this base. He could go for the target down on the base, trying to get as many probes as he can, too. herO decides, all right, screw it. We're going into the natural. I want to start working on some of the important tech structures. But Cure, he's going to hold the ramp up here with a couple of Liberators. It's not enough, I think, anti-air for herO to bust up that right now. And hero's more focused at trying to defend back at home. Of course, he lost these 2 bases, but he killed a lot in the meantime, too, and he should be able to clean this up. He's going to blink forward and get the Medivacs. The Marauder's just going to fight it out as best they can. Cure saves this CC, at least for now, but both players losing a lot of workers. If we take stock of this situation, herO is on effectively 2 mining bases. Same can be said for Cure. Army supplies in favor of herO, and I think he's feeling that, so he wants to push over here a little bit But herO does have those Liberators up. He's not quite in position though, and herO might be able to just jump on top of this. No, the Liberators are there. herO trying to take advantage of the fact that Liberators do not unsiege and resiege all that quickly. Throwing the Novas out, getting some nice connections. Maybe not the best in the world, but a few units here, a few units there, and that army supply lead just keeps on growing. herO is way up right now, 50 supply up. This Liberator getting some damage done, but I have a feeling it won't be long before it gets cleaned up. The Planetary is staying alive. herO's not really focused on it. This Planetary getting some damage done to the army, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Disruptor Nova's going down, SCV is going down, and the base goes down. And with that, Cure is knocked back to one mining base. He's down in army supply. herO is mining so much better. Storm's going down, Disruptor Nova's going down. And I think we're looking at a GG moment here. It looks like herO is going to tie up the series 1-1. Cure desperately trying to hold on, but I don't think he realizes how far ahead herO is. Like, herO isn't in a great spot, but he's in a pretty decent spot. How is this not hitting this probe? How is that not happening? herO's in a much better spot than Cure is. Cure is down to 58 supply. This Planetary, again, doing work. Lots of damage being done over here. But herO's just mining so much more. He's got this base up and running now. 53 probes to 24 SCVs. Not that Cure really needs more than that. He's on one base mining right now. All herO has to do is rebuild units and just keep on going. Liberator being annoying, but it's just not going to be enough for Cure. I don't think Cure realizes this base is here. So he's thinking, all right, it's 2 base mining to 1 base mining right now. I can still hold on. He's got ghosts. He still has some bio. It's just not enough, man. It's just like this army is paltry compared to what herO has got building right now. Like, gateway units not the strongest in the world. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. I think it's only a matter of time before this game finishes up. Cure going for the Mule Hammer on this base. There's an observer over it. herO's going to go get right into it right now. But Cure just trying to suck up as many minerals from it as he possibly can. herO forces it away. Going to try to target it down with the Stalkers and the Archons here. Where are the rest of the units going, though? These Stalkers and Archons kind of trapped. And actually, Cure going to be able to take a nice little fight here. Never mind. The rest of the units come back. Disruptor Nova forces the pickup and gets a couple of kills anyways. Cure's going to take this base. He does have a lot more army than I expected. The Mule Hammer really, really worked. But herO is still up in army supply. And herO is now taking another base. He's trying to retake that base over on the right-hand side. He's getting a little bit reckless right now. Going in, kind of running in willy-nilly. But I think it's going to be just fine for herO. Cure back down to just about 50 supply. Keeps going down. Gonna lose the rest of his army. I actually can't believe Cure is still fighting this out. Cure was hanging out with Fantasy recently, I guess. But that is going to be the GG as he scans and sees the base in the lower left corner. Realizes just how far behind he has been for a while. He fought it out, but herO takes game 2. Ties us up in the series. Keeping it entertaining. You'll love to see it. Game 3, we're going to Gresvan. We have a guaranteed game 4 after this one. Hopefully a game 5. I always like to get to the final game. Fun ones between these two also. Cure making life really difficult for herO by hitting in multiple areas. Just like big, beefy, bio armies on both sides. I feel like I don't see TVP go like that very often. Cure really pulling something off. And giving us good macro games too. We're not just seeing like 2-base tank pushes or 2-base pulling the boys, all ins kind of stuff. I really appreciate that. Not that I don't love those builds when they get mixed in from time to time, but we've had 2 very solid macro games. Maybe now is the time to mix in cheeky 2-base all in for one of these guys. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Chris Van. It is Dragon Kites Gaming's herO. And his opponent in the lower right, in the red, for Team NV, it is Cure. And I said 2-base all in, but Cure said, what about 2 Raxes? How about 2 Baraxes in the middle of the map? Gas is going to go down. This will be Reapers. herO is thinking, hey, Cure, not afraid to drop some proxy Raxes. Maybe I should go check it out a little bit. Oh, if he goes up there. Oh. Oh. I don't think he's going to go out there. I don't think he is. Wait. Oh, he spots it. He spots it. Well, that's a great start for herO. Actually doing some good damage to this SCV too. Going to delay this Rax by a long time. We're playing Ring Around the Rosie. Oh my God. Cure's going to cancel one of them. I think that's a smart call. Suddenly this becomes a lot less of an investment for Cure. Obviously the cancel is kind of painful, but you only lose a few minerals. I think that was a good call from Cure. He could have tried to finish it with the other SCV, but now it's just the single proxy Rax Reaper. He's going to still try to be annoying with his cheeky bunker. Yep, the micro is good. The second probe here from herO going to help out quite a bit. And actually, Cure's just going to abandon this. He doesn't go for the continued cancel. But it looks like he's actually... Yeah, he's going to let the Reaper show up. And then he's going to send the SCV back in because the Stalker's only halfway done. That's just a probe on the other side of the map. So that's going to be a finished bunker. And in the meantime, this Reaper's going to get a couple of kills. Ooh, but the Stalker's out. Reaper's got to get out of there. Oh, it's so low. Ah! Hoo-hoo-hoo. Cure gets in the bunker. He loves to do this. He loves to be annoying with these bunkers. Sorry, I keep zooming in and out. I'm just excited. Just excited when stuff like that happens. Adept on the way now, but there's no shield battery here for herO, and I feel like that's a bit of an issue. Usually you want a shield battery going down. But I guess he doesn't feel like investing in the pylon and the shield battery down here. Second Reaper comes home. Which means it's not here to continue to be annoying, but... The SCV is super low. So if it tries to pop out and get some healing done here, it's going to be really tough. Second Reaper coming across now. Cure's going to go ahead and salvage the bunker, but it actually is going to die. It was a dead bunker. Bit unfortunate there for Cure. Twilight Council coming up behind this for herO. Let's see if he goes for like a 4-gate blink off the back of this. I actually wouldn't hate that. Cure's kind of stuck in his main for a while now. And I feel like a 4-gate blink could really punish Cure if he tries to go for some economic backing off this. Cure trying to get as much damage done as he can. He's down a lot of workers. That Nexus has been up for a while, and probes have been coming out of it. He needs to get some of this damage, but he's not going to get too much. 2 more probes go down. herO's still 6 workers ahead. Cure doesn't have this base mining yet either, which is a big problem. Looks like a Widow Mine drop follow-up here out of the Terran. herO not going to go for a big 2-base blink play. Instead, just going to grab the third. What is it? Artosis always says, win ahead, die to a proxy gate. Wait, no, sorry, that's not it. When ahead, the Protoss will probably beat you anyways. Because Protoss is OP. No, I keep getting my Artosis lines mixed up. when ahead, Mario usually prefers if Luigi... No, sorry, Maybe you guys can help me out in chat. Do you guys remember what Artosis likes to say? Like a Dora the Explorer episode. Do you guys know what Artosis likes to say? Can you guys find the Artosilope on the screen? Where are the Widow Mines? Are they here? Are they here? Oh no, they're up here. Dora, Dora, Dora the Explorer. Absolute banger. herO knows where the Widow Mines are. That's no problem. He's defending them quite nicely. There is a Cloaked Banshee follow-up, too. That's something I feel like I see a ton against Protoss. Cure just trying to find some ways to get economic damage and keep herO down. herO has one observer at the moment. It's just this one hanging out by the medevac. So Cloaked Banshees could definitely cause some issues. They're just chilling back at home. No shield batteries either, so the Banshees don't even have to line up their shots very well. A couple SCVs died? I don't know what happened there. Ooh, hero's gonna blink in. That ends up really not working for him. As he eats a big tank shot. He's gonna kill his supply depot, but can't really get close to this. I think he's just gonna have to leave. Oh, this is gonna be nice though. Stalkers out front to poke and prod. Stalkers in the prism to poke and prod. But that is a bunch of Stalkers not back at home to defend against the potential Banshees that could be heading that direction. Banshees are heading that way. Oh, there's the Widow Mine drop. Gets 3 probes. Pretty respectable, especially considering one of them, 2 of them are going to get out. Woo! Boost. Boost to the corner. But now the Banshees are here. There are some High Templar around, but I don't think there's actually detection over here. They could get some feedbacks that would force these to uncloak. But a lot of probes going down in the meantime. Oh, man. You're really taking advantage of the lack of detection. Yeah, there's the feedbacks, but it's too little too late. 22 probes going down. This Banshee's gonna even just continue to be annoying. Gets a 23rd. Oh my god, what a hero. And now Cure goes back in. He's gonna drop the Widow Mines. Oh, there is detection. Oh, okay, herO cleans it up. That could have been a juicy one. It was close. Closer than herO wanted it to be, but he cleans it up. Eats a lot of damage. 28 probes have gone down this game. Cure is ahead a couple of workers, but his third is not done, so he's mining on 2 bases. So herO still has that going for him. Obviously, Mule's helping Cure a little bit here, but herO should be able to boost back up once he gets unsupply blocked. No, herO. The 109 out of 109. Rest in pepperonis. But he should be able to get that probe count back up pretty quickly. Oh, thank you guys. Chat, hit me up with the Artosis quotes, the real ones. Went ahead, why is this happening to me? Or the other famous one, went ahead, this sucks, this absolutely sucks. Oh, I hate this game. Yes, that's my favorite Artosis quote, actually. The single Archon drop here, not actually getting it done. The Widow Mine drop, also not getting it done. This probe, this is a herO probe. This probe keeping its brothers and sisters safe up in the mineral line. What an honorable probe. Can you imagine being this probe? Commander comes at you and is like, all right, your job is to just stay here. And you're like, what am I doing here? Am I putting down a pylon or something? No. You're just going to spot if anything's coming. Oh? What am I spotting for? Keep your probe brethren safe. What a badass. This probe, hero. Literal hero. Keeping the lives of these probes safe. Whew. Well, Storm Drop is cute, unfortunately. I don't think it got, I think it got like one SCV kill. It's a nice move. It's a nice move, but it didn't quite work. Kira's gonna start pushing across now. He's got siege tanks, he's got ghosts, he's even got widow mines with this. However, herO, certainly no slouch of an army himself. He's got a nice spread here. He's got a few shield batteries around. And by a few shield batteries, I of course mean one. But he's got disruptors out, charge a lot of Mortal Archon. He's got Storm available. He's got a big spread going. Going to be a lot harder for Cure to get the EMPs off that he needs. But Cure's getting sieged up here. Disruptor Nova's going out, not getting the best shots. Storm's zoning a little bit, getting some decent shots, but some EMPs are quite nice as well. Again, the splits here are crucial, as herO still had some energy available, and he's gonna push into this now, but he's so clumped, and the tanks are just getting massive shots. The huge surround from Cure wipes herO's army off the map. That ended up being a terrible engagement from herO. It looks like he'll be able to push this back, but I think Cure is still going to end up taking a fantastic trade. Reinforcements show up for Cure, though. Cure is at double the supply of herO. That was an abysmal fight in the meantime. herO even lost the fourth. I mean, that's just... what that is game over, my friends. herO's going to fight it out a little longer. He's got disruptors, but the tanks are shelling away. The 1-1 bio is shelling away. The ghosts are EMPing. The widow mines are not really doing much, but they're there too. And I think herO is pretty much just dead in this game. Super shield battery is going to turn on. The bio will pull back. herO's going to go for it one more time. Gets on top of the siege tanks. But he only kills one. Finishes off the second one just in time for his last couple of units to go down. He's at 15 army supply as he warps in some zealots, but GG gets called as those last disruptors fall, and Cure goes up to 2-1 in this best of 5. Yes, yes. What a series, man. I honestly a little disappointed in herO's engagement there. He was like so split. He was ready. He was like sending individual High Templar and landing storms, zoning, disruptor novas. Yeah, and it felt like he was gonna let the base die maybe, but end up taking a good fight. And then he was like, clump, A move, let's go. And the tanks just demolished him. The huge concave coming in from both sides. And I may not remember what Artosis says sometimes, but I do remember that Tasteless told me that the concave is better than the convex. I remember that. You want to get that, the surround. That's what you want. And you do not want to be clumped against siege tanks. That's for show. All right, we'll get into game 4 here. It is match point 4. Our Terran player hopping into Royal Blood. He's just got to win one more to close out this ESL Open Cup. For Team NV, it is our Red Terran, Cure. Some very good moves in that game. So far in all the games, honestly, both boys have had some really sick moves. But in the lower left-hand corner, down 1-2, needs to pull it back right here, right now, and win 2 games in a row. For Dragon Kites Gaming, it's herO. And it does feel like as the game gets a little bit longer, herO has been struggling a little bit in these games. Obviously, game 2 did go his way, but that felt like the game where he struggled the least, right? And so far, games 1 and 3, there were some moments where, yeah, herO was really having a hard time dealing with some of the stuff Cure was throwing at him. Cure constantly hitting in multiple locations and at the same time macroing flawlessly. The thing about these like really solid players like a Cure, like we were talking about earlier, is yeah, man, they're solid. When they're doing whatever they're doing, they're macroing hardcore behind it. And herO's a little bit more seat of his pants kind of a player, I say, as he drops the proxy pylon at 1.5 minutes into the game. And sometimes that leads to incredible things happening for herO, and that's how he's won championships, right? Flies by the seat of his pants right to the grand finals. But other times, it can also mean that things get missed, you know? Things that maybe a solid standard player wouldn't miss. And I don't know, it's kind of a fun thing. I love the different play styles we get in StarCraft. I don't think there's any one better or worse way to play. I think the way herO plays actually lends itself really well to Protoss, which is why he has such success with the race. Whereas Showtime is a very solid standard player and hasn't had quite the same success, and I think that kind of play hasn't historically worked as well for Protoss, although, you know, stats would disagree. But I should talk about this game because this is a classic herO move right here. herO just going to drop the proxy Stargate, goes for the Oracle, and Cure just somehow doesn't scout. And this is what happens when you're up against a player who just does stuff sometimes. It's hard to scout. It's hard to scout when your opponent they can put that anywhere. They can put anything anywhere. How do you scout for that? The answer is you scout absolutely everywhere but the exact one place you need. It looks like he'll eventually get there. But the Oracle's already in the main, and guess what? Does not kill one Oracle. 3 Marines. Or 4 Marines. So now all the Marines are dead. And the Oracle still has a few bits of energy left. Looks like it's about to run out. Gets a couple of kills, not that many. But at the same time, herO's up here with the Zealot, with the Adept pressure. 3 SCVs have gone down, but there's the second Oracle. The Cyclone is about to pop. It's going to be really important that Cure gets the lock-on onto whichever Oracle decides to pop in here. This Oracle doesn't quite have enough energy to turn on just yet, but it's getting pretty close. And the Cyclone can't be in 2 places at once. Oh, a Phoenix coming out. Oh, no, dude. This second Cyclone is so far away. The Vikings so far away. Honestly, herO might just win this game. The Phoenix is lifting. SCV's going down. You know what? SCVs don't die as quickly to Oracles as I always imagine they will. Cure's going to get the lock on to one of the Oracles, but it gets out of there. Only 3 more SCVs going down. I kind of forget. SCVs have that little extra bit of health, 5 extra hit points. That means it takes 3 Oracle ticks to kill them instead of 2. And that's a big difference. It's a big difference. We just saw it in action there. If that had been a drone line, literally twice that many workers would have died. But Cure holds on, and you know what? With this base up and running now, he's down a few workers, but it's not too bad of a situation for him. He's got the defenses up. He can go kill that Stargate. herO's just going to go for a third. It's a very bold move, but he's going to go for it. He knows that Cure can't really push out. Keeping the Oracles alive is huge here, because if Cure pushes out, the Oracles just come in and kill every SCV. Not a good position for Cure, because then if he doesn't win with his push, he's just dead. So herO kind of banking on the threat of the Oracles keeping Cure back at home. It seems to be working so far. Cure is not going anywhere. He's building a tank, getting some Marines out. And that's going to give herO time to get into Blink. This is a really nice opening for herO. I think he's fairly happy with this. Yeah, he lost 1 Zealot. Triple Cyclone taking care of that hallucination, no problem. I don't know if the Reaper saw that base. I feel like, yeah, Cure knows it's here. He knows it's done. That's got to sting a little bit. Since there's no third CC on the way for Cure, he's actually supply blocked right now. Just for a moment there, but it always hurts when you're like, maybe I can move out in a minute and try to put some pressure on, and then you're just supply blocked. And you're like, every second counts in this early game, especially in this early game. But Cure does have stim combat shields and +1 on the way. However, it doesn't feel like he's going to be able to hit with anything before Storm and Charge are done. And that means herO's going to have a really nice army up to deal with whatever's coming his way. Raven seems so good until it just gets absolutely blasted out of the sky by feedback and has no energy. We'll see if that is exactly what happens here. I love that herO has been going for the fast Storm against Terran. This is something Zest used to do. And I really haven't seen many Protosses do this for the last, like, year and a half, 2 years. Whenever Zest left, I was like, why aren't other Protosses doing this? Obviously, it's not always good, but sometimes. Yeah, sometimes just get into Storm right away. Storm can be so good before your opponent has Ghosts out. And then, like, you have Storm for later on, too. Archons are pretty solid. Anyways, I'm happy to see herO do it. Speaking of the Raven getting feedbacked, actually, so close to that stasis. I remember when I first started watching StarCraft, I was watching some game and a Raven was about to fly into a base and it just exploded. And I had no idea what happened. I just started playing StarCraft. I didn't really know all the units and abilities yet. I didn't even know the Raven ability, so I thought maybe it was something that happened to the Raven. But it turns out it was a feedback, and that's how I learned what feedback was. The full energy Raven flying into a base and just got, boom, one shot, one tapped. I don't know who wins that fight, to be completely honest with you. I mean, the shield battery really wins that fight, but I like how they're fighting over dead airspace too. Feels very appropriate. God, these stasis traps are brutal. And the prism with the storm in it. Ooh, needs to be careful of those Widow Mines, but at least it knows they're there. herO's fourth base is up and running. I feel like herO's still just in a very good spot. I like how Cure's playing this, though. I think a lot of Terrans would have just, like, gone for a big two-base push after that opening. Been like, screw it, I'm just going to go for it. Especially on, like, you're up a game, you still have another one behind it. Like, just go for it. Maybe you can catch him with his pants down. herO was ready for that, right? He had that Storm. He had Blink. He had Charge. He would have been ready, I think, for a push from Cure. But Cure decides to just chill. And now he knows I can just build up a huge army. Lots of bio. I can get the tanks out. I can get the ghosts out. Ooh. He can kill that stasis trap. Gets the lock on. Gonna force the dropout of the High Templar. Prism goes down. Oracle gonna go down as well. Stasis trap catches a couple Widow Mines, but that's it. But yeah, I love this from Cure. Builds up the army. And then goes for the push. It is getting delayed a little bit by chasing all these units around it. Oh, that Storm. Hit a bunch of the medevacs. Those medevacs are actually potentially very dangerously low. Nice EMP to start things off here from Cure. Do we have any other High Templar hanging about? It doesn't look like it. Cure setting up a really annoying siege position here. herO trying to hit on the backside with some Stalkers and some High Templar, warping in, Zealots on the front. Anti-armor missile goes down. herO being very patient right now, waiting for Cure to pull the trigger and push in. Cure is up a lot of supply, and herO's not fighting with his whole army. This army on the backside needs to come on in and blink on top of these tanks most ASAPly. It's finally going to get them, but the Bio's winning the fight down here. But the Storms are huge, and the Warp and a Zealots is going to clean everything up. herO holds on just barely at the end there. It looked dicey. He did lose a lot of big units, and the trades end up being pretty much dead even. He lost the Colossi, the Disruptors. But herO holds on, and he's got a 5th base. It's 5 bases to 3 right now. cure's got a lot of workers, but doesn't have as efficient mining. And he can't really take advantage of the mules with that either, because he's just going to mine these 3 bases out super quick. You see herO has a big income advantage in this game. And that's going to allow herO to get into this late game stuff, get into the Dark Shrine and Blink DTs, which we saw him research that in game 2, I think. But we never really got to see them used. I'd love to see some Blink DTs used if this game does get into big bank territory. Cure is finally taking his 4th base, so he's going to be able to mine very, very nicely from that. At the same time, he's pushing the front here. Some Zealots getting caught out, but keeping an eye on the army for herO. herO pushing Cure back. He's got a couple more Colossi here. He's got a new Prism out with High Templar in it. Disruptor. Very nice army from herO. The Widowmine's getting some good shots off, though, for Cure. Now that Cure's economy is a lot better, he can start getting into things like Liberators. Ah, man, it's still heavily in favor of herO, though, right now. Cure needs a 5th base, or he needs to do some damage to herO's economy. Because herO is just kind of chilling right now. There's that 5th CC at least. Starting that process. Cure's forced to pull back and defend. That's not really where he wants to be, though. I think herO's more than happy to be on the attack. Chipping off at some of these units, just taking little trades. Oh, dropping massive storms on this army, forcing Cure back a little bit. Cure does end up holding the top of the ramp for now, but herO's going to push forward again. EMP's obliterating herO's army this time, but is it enough? Cure is down a lot of supply. Both players losing a ton of army supply. SCV's getting demolished here. Cure's economy in shambles, and even if he's able to clean up herO's army, it's not going to be enough. He can't even do that. GG gets called, and herO ties our series up 2-2. This is what I'm talking about, baby. Best of 5, game 5. What we like. It's what we like. That's what I like, anyways. I'm assuming you like it too. I feel like most people out there probably aren't like, no, I want less StarCraft. No, dude, we want more StarCraft. Game 5. You're going to be on altitude. Map with some attitude. Attitude on altitude. That joke sounded better in my head. I'm running low on voice here. Been a lot of casting in the last couple of days, and you know, that does kill the voice a little bit. But it feels nice. There's something really special about casting so much and so like getting so into it that I start losing my voice, and like especially when it gets to like those exciting moments and I'm like, it's so nice. It's so like gratifying to lose your voice from casting too much StarCraft. At least for me. Maybe not for everybody. I just love it though. It feels like a physical manifestation of my passion. And it's nice to feel that passion for this game. It really is. I love this game. I love this community. I kind of talked about it yesterday a little bit, but the community is really what makes me love this game. Obviously, I do have a deep love for StarCraft, but it's really rooted in the fact that I feel like I found a good community full of good people years and years ago, and it's just stuck with me. The game, honestly, in a way, feels secondary to me, to the community, and that's part of the reason I'm really excited for Stormgate. It's like, yes, if we do hard switch and StarCraft isn't really a thing anymore, which I don't know if that'll happen. StarCraft 2, that is. I don't know if that'll really happen. I feel like there will still be StarCraft 2 tournaments. There will still be StarCraft 2 players. But the player base, I think, will drop pretty significantly. But even if we did just lose this game, as long as I still have the community, and even if we're all playing a totally different game, it's still going to be the StarCraft community. You know what I mean? But I'm really interested in how many people will go from StarCraft 2 over to Stormgate. I have kind of assumed that it would be most of us. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I may be surprised by how many people stick with StarCraft 2. I think a lot of it's going to depend on if there's any chance of future support for the game. The ActiBliz Microsoft merger is currently being blocked. And I think that was kind of the big hope for a revival into StarCraft. Microsoft showing some care for the genre by releasing Age of Empires 2 remastered and doing a decent job with that. Age of Empires 4 was well liked by the Age of Empires community, and just showing that they are thinking about the genre, right? Is more than ActiBliz has done for their own game in the last few years. So we've become pretty much completely community run at this point. But without that happening, I'm just worried that we're going to end up with Blizz continuing to not care about StarCraft 2. And if a lot of the community moves over to Stormgate, I feel like this game is going to get kind of stagnant. I don't know how long we're going to be getting patches. So I'm excited for Stormgate. I think that'll be something new and fresh. And maybe that competition will revitalize Blizzard into looking into RTS. I hope Stormgate does really well, because I think if Stormgate really kicks ass, then we have a better chance of StarCraft 2 getting some attention, and a better chance of ever seeing StarCraft 3. But I should talk about this game, the active game that's happening right now. Because Cure is going for a 3 racks, the good old-fashioned 3 racks. herO's scouting it right now. This is a crucial scout for herO to spot that this is coming. And this is a Phoenix opener against 3 racks. That is a hard position for herO to be in. And I'm really interested to see where he goes from here. He's planning on a Disruptor drop, it looks like. Or maybe, actually, I think it's a Colossus drop. herO did this yesterday. He attempted this yesterday. I'm surprised to see him still go for the Warp Prism. I kind of expected to see an Immortal be chronoed out, but he wants to try to get the Prism and the Colossus out here. I just don't know if he's going to be able to. Three racks is already pushing across. hero's got a couple of force fields that can help him out quite a bit. The double shield battery is really nice. There's that Immortal being chronoed out that I was talking about. Thought that was going to be first before the Prism, but yeah, the Prism can help a micro as well, especially with this Immortal. You're looking around for a third. He's not going to find it, and a lot of times the 3 racks, you end up just stimming in and killing the third base or forcing a cancel. And Cure, not seeing that, doesn't want to push up this ramp. It's a dangerous place to be. He's going to go for the scan and try to get the Cyber Core. He will get the Cyber Core, and that's an annoying pickup for sure. But he's going to have to back on out after that. herO feeling bold enough to push down here, actually. With the Immortal in the Prism. He's got a couple of Phoenixes as well. Cure is just backing up. He's like, nope, run away. Run away, boys, run away. And herO will leave him be. Colossus is coming out now. The Robobay was scouted, as was the Prism, so Cure may know this is coming. Doesn't necessarily make it easier to stop, but the speedy Prism with the Colossus is on its way across the map. Phoenix is being annoying in the meantime too, getting just a couple of kills. Ooh. And not dying, importantly. But here comes the Colossus drop. Going to go for the SCV line, it looks like. A couple of Vikings are out, so here's going to have to be careful. Oh, man. Prism speed is good. Get out of there, herO. Get out of there. Looks like a Phoenix might have died in the meantime. 2 Phoenixes, not the scariest thing in the world. I love the lifting the SCV because it stops working when it lands. So annoying. If you got lifted by a Phoenix and you're an SCV, when you land, bro, you gotta get back to work. You gotta do it. This has to happen. You're going for more Colossi. No Thermal Lance, though. He's almost to 3 Colossi, and he has not started Thermal Lance, which is a very long upgrade. I'm a little bit concerned that herO might have forgotten about Thermal Lance. And I'm hoping we see that, because Colossus range is crucially important in these fights. Especially with this many Marauders. You need those Colossi to outrange the Marauders. They will just dominate a Colossus in a fight. It's actually insane. Well, I feel like we've all seen the clips of whichever Terran it was that just styled on a Protoss with the Marauders and the Medevac, picking up and dropping and finishing off Colossi. Which Terran was that? It feels like a Beyond move or a Maru move. I don't know. There's a few Terrans historically who have that micro insanity. Here's third base finally finishing up, but it is very late. It was very, very delayed. And Cure's actually going to take his at pretty much the exact same time. It's not usually ideal for the Protoss, but with this heavy-duty Colossus-based army out, he's got a couple of Mortals underneath too. I think herO's feeling quite good. He's down a little bit of army supply, but it's a beefy army. It's not a gateway army. Behind it, he is getting into Storm. He is getting that +1 going. Twilight Council is here. He's got Charge. No Blink just yet, but he's got the Phoenixes, so doesn't really need the Blink Stalkers at the moment. I love the Phoenixes are like, oh, I'll just go around the turrets and get a bunch of SCV kills. Really, really nice here. Oh my god, 9, 10, 11 worker kills. Phoenix is just run away. He's going to go for the recall. Actually whiffs the recall a little bit. Can this one get away? Get out of there, man. No. Press F to pay respects. Cure spots at that third base is up and running. herO taking a 4th as well. Cure's just chilling for now. He's getting close, I feel like, to that army supply that he moved out with last game. And as I say that, there you go. Unsieges starts pushing out. 110 army supply. herO chilling back at home for now. I don't think he's realized this, but as I say that, the Watchtower Zealot gets killed, so he will see this coming out. Whoop, Phoenix is going to get taken down. This is a bit of a problem. The Phoenixes aren't the most important part here, but having those in the sky can be really helpful, especially if you can lift a tank for a couple of seconds. Or even just fight the Vikings a little bit. There's 4 Vikings here to try to kill the Colossi. herO's got that great pre-spread. Oh, and he's got the Storm drops. Prism and the High Templar go down, but they do get a lot of damage off on this army in the meantime. Is it that important? No, but Cure's going to chill for a second while he heals up. And in fact, it looks like Cure's going to pull back, maybe go for the split army situation that he was liking so much in those previous games. It's worth noting this map is pretty giant. It's a large map. There's a lot of space in the middle of the map. That can make it tough to go for those kind of split pushes that Cure was going for before. Can also, though, make it tough for herO to defend. If herO finds himself kind of off to the side, it can be a really long trek to save that base if you're out of position. Which Cure did catch herO out of position a little bit in like game 1, especially game 3. I think there was a little bit of that too. And yeah, Cure's gonna stop this base from going down. Nice little storm there to zone him back, but I think Cure's happy forcing a cancel on that base, keeping it 4 bases for the Protoss right now. Cure's 4th is nearly finished up here. Some storms and feedbacks going down. I love that herO is just so active with these Warp Prisms full of High Templar. And speaking of Warp Prisms, tries to get into the main, but I mean, that is a dead Prism is what that is. That Prism ain't doing nothing. You ain't going nowhere. Ooh, herO not leaving enough army down here to deal with this army of Cure. There is a Colossus. Colossus doing pretty well. Warping his Zealots comes in. herO will hold on to this base, no problem. A little bit dicey there for a second, but taking a look at the upgrades, pretty much dead even. Not really anything to write home about. herO's gonna push down now, feeling confident that he can shove this away. He is right, and he's gonna push out over on the left-hand side again. Just feeling confident that he's got enough to push away both sides here. The army supplies are even. A lot of it's going to come down to just how the engagements go. Cure pulled all the way back over here, which means that herO can pull his army, the rest of his army across. Again, super long map, but Cure has got to back out of this. Here's about to have way more stuff in this fight, and Cure has no presence on the right-hand side of the map right now. That army is just chilling back at home, securing that 4th, and suddenly this 3rd base is in a bad position, but did herO overextend? Putting himself between a rock and a hard place. The SCVs come off the line. Cure feeling like he's got to go for it. Some big EMPs hit. I don't think there's any storms left, but the Colossi doing some big damage on the high ground. Archons were a little bit in the back. Not a great engagement for herO, and he doesn't have any splash damage left. He did kill 11 SCVs, and the Immortals are doing a lot, but the Vikings are going to land, and that is the last of herO's army. Down goes every single Robo unit. All of his High Templar. He's pulling back. He's trying to warp in, get new High Templar up, but they don't have energy for Storm yet. They won't for a while, and there's EMPs. This one Disruptor has a lot of work to do, but Cure is a little too good to let one Disruptor kill him. He scans. He sees there's the other one as well. He's just going to target it down. Down they both go. Shield Battery overcharge turns on. Storms come down. Those are really nice storms, actually, and the overcharged Shield Battery lasted for a while, but it's not enough here. Cure takes one sick fight and just pushes herO right back. Cure takes the 3-2 victory in the series, and he will be your ESL Open Cup champion for the day.